Okay, welcome everyone to our launch or relaunch series. If you need to get a little unstuck, we are so excited to do this 8-part series. It's going to be over the next 4 weeks, and we're going to be hitting this hard and fast and really get you excited and get going, because that's how you create momentum. And momentum is everything in this business. And so we have banded together, me, Nicole Vincent, Sarah Savage, and Myra Powers. We are 3 diamonds with doTERRA. And we are just super duper excited to help you guys get going, help you get excited, and just pour the knowledge and experience that we have into you. And so I wanted to just take a few minutes to introduce myself first, and then I'll introduce Sarah and Myra. And we're going to take turns presenting throughout this series. So tonight I will be your presenter, and then other nights we'll have Sarah presenting, and then other nights Myra will be presenting. So you'll get to know each of us a little bit better. And we all have different personalities and different strengths. So it'll be great to connect and to help you guys further yourself in this business and find your personal groove. So for those that don't know me, I am Nicole Vincent. I am down in Houston, Texas, and I have 4 kids. I have been with doTERRA for 6 years now. I just had my 6-year anniversary. I absolutely love essential oils, which is completely opposite from what I used to be. I used to hate anything holistic, anything natural. But I went to a class that my friend held teaching about essential oils, and I just wanted to visit my friend because she was back in town visiting. And as I'm sitting in that class, I had a very distinct impression: you need to do this, it will change your life. And that phrase and those feelings kept replaying in my head until I actually bought my kit. And it was all, I would say downhill, but it really has been uphill. It's been a very beautiful growing experience. I'm so grateful that spurred my life changes. And I'm just super passionate about helping other people see the possibilities in their life and changing and making a difference. Then we have Sarah Savage. Here, let me get, I'm gonna make it on here. So there we go. That way we can see everyone when on the recording. So Sarah, hello Sarah.
Hey.
Do you want me to introduce you, or would you like to introduce yourself?
You can introduce me if you want.
So Sarah is such a dear friend of mine. She is out in Midland, Texas. She is from Houston though. And she has 3 cute little spunky boys. And she has been in this just a little bit longer than I have. About 6 months or so?
Yeah.
And Sarah is she is just so much fun. Like, she's a freaking firecracker. She has so much energy and just has some brilliant ideas, and she's just a breath of fresh air. Like, she really is just a fun person to be around, and just makes this business fun, and is so great at connecting with other people at different levels. Like, I don't know, I just love it.
Thank you, Nicole. I feel like that's good. That's good. That's all they need to know. They'll get to know me next week.
It's all good. And then we have Myra Powers, who is a diamond here in Houston. And she has become one of my closest friends. And she is just phenomenal. Myra hails her back. She has 2 twin boys. And she has a corporate background. She has a CPA, MBA. And she is the toughest businesswoman I ever knew. Like, she's freaking amazing.
You're getting
but
the
don't worry, I softened her up a little bit. But Myra is just brilliant. She's very strategic. She knows her stuff. She is just a brilliant mind, business-wise, especially in other ways as well, but in this, like, especially in business. So she's just, you guys have 2 top-notch people. I think I'm pretty okay. But we're all so different. We really are. And so if one of us isn't jiving with you, that's okay. Guess what? One of the other ones will. So please tune in and take notes. And I'm just so excited to get this going. So I'm going to go ahead and you can toggle on Zoom. If you're not familiar with Zoom, you can toggle it to where you can see everybody, or you can just see the speaker. For recording purposes, I'm going to make it so it just shows the speaker, my video, because it just makes more sense when people are watching the recording. So without further ado, let's get going. And this first week, we are going to be talking about preparing. But I want to show you first where to find these resources if you don't already know, because I think that's really important. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And you're going to go here to doTERRA.com. And you're going to go over to our advocates. And then you can go over here to Empowered Success. And here under Empowered Success, you're going to have all of the resources. You can click on any of these, and you can either purchase the paper copy or you can download it, and you can share that link with prospects. You can share it with other people, and then all these different tools. There's a huge resource here. So please take some time. I don't know what's going up with my voice, but take some time over the next day or two to explore this and see what's out there and what tools that you can use. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we are presenting kind of the ideal or this kind of outline system that you can use, but you can adjust for your personality and for what works for you. If you see something and you're like, that's not really going to work for me, that's okay. But these are proven systems. This has been 10 years in the making, and the people that have put this together are the top leaders in doTERRA, and they know what they're talking about. So I would really encourage you to go buy these guides as close as possible, but make it your own, because it's so important to know your own strengths. With that, I do want to talk real quick about finding your strengths. If you do not know what your strengths are, please take the time and money and invest in yourself. There is a wonderful thing, and I'm going to pull it up here real quick, called Strengths Finder. Let's see, Clifton, there we go. So just go to Gallup Strengths Center, and this is a scientifically based assessment. It costs $20 to get your top 5 gifts, your top 5 strengths, and it takes about 40 to 45 minutes. It is a timed thing, so make sure you're doing it on your impulse, because it really does help you identify what you're good at. And this is so important, I think, especially at the beginning, because it's super easy to try and mimic what you see other people doing. But if you're trying to mimic someone that has a completely different skill set and strength set than you are going to do, it's going to feel inauthentic. It's going to come off inauthentic, and it's just not going, it might work for a little bit, but it's not going to work long term. So invest in yourself, do your $20 assessment, and find out your strengths. Now, why is it so important to do it on this system? Let me show you. Because doTERRA has partnered with Gallup Strength Finder to give us an entire library of strengths. So if you go to our advocates on doTERRA.com and then go to Empowered You, you can go through and it's going to tell you exactly what it looks like if whatever your strengths are, what that's going to look like with a doTERRA business. So this is going to kind of give you an angle or a perspective to start launching your business. And if you've been in the business for a while, I think this is even more important, especially if you feel stuck, because you might have been copying someone that has a different skill set than you do. So spend some time, find your strengths, and then watch your videos. Me, for example, my top strength is strategic, which is kind of funny because I'm not your typical strategic. I'm strategic in other ways. But watching this helps me understand how seeing patterns and seeing how things connect is a good thing, and how I can use that in my business to leverage it. So I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but I really encourage you to take your Strengths Finder and then watch these videos that doTERRA has put together so that you know what perspective to come at your business at, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And I would love if you guys know your strengths, if you've already taken your strengths, type them in the chat box. I want to see them because I think that this is it's such a great way to connect and to understand how you can make this business your own and be successful at it and leverage your strengths, because when we're working in our strengths, guys, we feel so good. It feels so good when you're working in your strengths and you are successful because that's your gift, right? And so when we feel successful, we keep going, and it's easier to push through those hurdles because we know hurdles are going to come up. We know obstacles are going to be there. We know we're going to get told no a million times. But if we're working within our strengths, we're going to feel a lot better, and it flows so much better. So I wanted to share that with you. So that is part of preparing, guys. You need to know who you are, and you need to know what angle you want to go at in this business. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that is part of preparing, knowing who you are. Get that down. Now, as we're going to go through this launch guide, and this is what it looks like. And again, you can go on that doTERRA.com under Empowered Success and download it if you don't have it. I would highly encourage you guys to purchase this in your back office. Stick it on your order when you're getting your new oils that just came out, or stick it on your next LRP. But get this, and you want to get the build and the live and the share guide as well for this whole series, because it makes a big difference to have something, at least one copy in your hands to work through. So if you've never looked at this, we're going to be working on an acronym called PIPES. And this is a really great way to make sure that you are being well-rounded in your business, because most of us are going to tend to lean towards one area or two areas more than the others, because that's just kind of what our strengths cater to. So the first one is prepare. That's what we're talking about tonight. And preparing is just getting things ready, getting yourself ready, getting things ready for your class, having the education you need. That all falls underneath the prepare umbrella. And you'll learn more about that tonight as we talk. The next one, I, is invite. So this is going to be inviting people to enroll, to a class, to a one-on-one, to sign up on LRP, to join you in the business. There's lots of different ways you can invite. The next one is present. And this is when you're going to be presenting a class, presenting a one-on-one, presenting the LRP, presenting the business opportunity. So there's lots of ways that we can present. The E is going to be enrolling. This is going to be signing people up, getting them their own account, enrolling them in the business, enrolling them in LRP, getting them really on board. And then the S is support. So how can you offer support? How can you give fertilizer to your little doTERRA garden that you're growing? How can you support them? And we're going to be going through each of these through this series. That's going to be the backbone of our format here, to help you make sure that you're spending time in all of those areas. And if you notice, there's 5. And so if you're just focusing on a couple, then you're having 3 that might be neglected. You're going to be unbalanced, and your business is going to be unbalanced. So think of it, about 20% in each area is a good guideline to know how much time, how much effort should be spent in each area. Now, that is going to vary based on where you're at in the business and what your team looks like and all that stuff. But in general, about 20% in each area. So make sure the first thing to do prepared is you got to be prepared to be paid. If you do not have your LRP set up and set at 100 PV, and make sure it's PV and not dollar amount, especially for you, the newer people that don't know about PV yet, that's our point value. Make sure that LRP is set up, because if it is not set up with that 100 points in your cart, then guess what? When the computer is going through, it's running commissions, it's going to look at your account. You're like, oh, you're at 99. You don't get a commission. And so it's going to pass you by. So we don't want that, right? We want to have 100 in our cart. I would recommend having 125 or 150. Those are the best amounts to really qualify for your free product and help simplify Power of 3 bonuses. We're not going to be talking about commission tonight, but keep that in mind. Now, right now, especially with the new oils that just came out, a lot of us, our LRP cart might have dropped below that 100 points. So make sure you're logging in and checking your LRP to make sure that it's set at 100. And guys, every month it needs to process at 100 if you're wanting to receive commission. I've had some people try to trick the system where they'll leave it at 100 and then they'll drop it before it runs. Guess what? doTERRA will catch you, and they will take back those commissions out of your future checks. So don't try to trick the system. I want to put that fire out before it even gets going in your head. So set that up. The next thing is to establish belief in products. We're all here because something worked for us, right? We signed someone up and we saw that check and we're like, hey, this worked. Or we tried an oil and we put it on and hey, it worked. We really need to have that deep belief in the product, because if we don't, how are we ever going to sell it? How are we going to share it authentically? And so it's very important to really establish a good routine with the oils. Right now is a perfect time. We're having the daily challenge with doTERRA that they're running. Lots of education happening on the doTERRA Essential Oil Facebook page. And as you do these daily habits and you get healthier and you notice changes, guess what? You're going to be able to open your mouth and share about the LLV and share about On Guard and share about balance and share about citrus oil in your water, because you're living it. You've seen the changes. You can be a true testimony. And because if you've never taken the LLV, how are you ever going to sell that? And that's a very, very key part for getting people on the loyalty rewards program. So make sure you're taking advantage of that and you have your personal schedule, your daily ritual down with your oils and supplements. If you need a little help in this area, maybe you're newer to the oils, get the Live Guide. It actually has a wellness consult in there with questions that will help walk you through your specific health concerns along with your reference book to help you figure out what you need to focus on and what would be beneficial for you to use on a daily basis. Because of course it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but I will tell you that everybody's going to benefit from being on the LLV on a daily basis, and everybody's going to benefit from using balance on their feet on a daily basis. There's just some givens there. So make sure you have that set up. Make sure you are being a product of the product. So if you are out, your kids are at swim team, you're not going to be spraying yourself down with off, right? Ew, gross. Not only does it smell disgusting and it's chemical ridden, you've got freaking Terra Shield. It's going to work a lot better. It smells a lot better. And people are going to be like, oh, what's that? That smells better than off. And they're going to notice that you don't have bug bites all over you. So get your Terra Shield out. So start branching out and start using your products in front of people, because that's going to spark conversation. If you're out at the baseball game, your kids, pitching on the mound, oh, you just happen to have a little headache, right? You might not have a headache, but pull that peppermint out. It's gonna attract attention because peppermint smells amazing. You put a little peppermint on your head for your headache or to cool you down. Guess what? You're gonna have 3 ladies down on the bench say, what is it that smells so good? And it just opens conversation. So be a product of the product. Use your products in front of people, and you don't have to be fake about it, but you can definitely, you always need some oils, right? So have your oils with you, be prepared to use them. Now, if you don't know a lot about the products yet, this is part of preparing. And so in the beginning stages, when you're newer to oils, you are going to need to spend more time and invest more time preparing. So this is going to look like watching webinars. There's a lot of different resources out there on doterra.com, and I'm going to pull this up one more time. I want to show you how much is available now. And this is crazy because when we started out, there was nothing like this out there, right, guys? So if you go to our advocates and then doTERRA University, guys, there is so many videos. There's so much information here. It's amazing. So what is an essential oil? Why doTERRA? Look, there's information on all of the products. And these are nice little snippet videos that you don't have to invest a ton of time in. There are going to be some longer webinars, and that's totally awesome. But there are great little snippets here that you can just watch when you're sitting in the carpool or you're commuting on the bus to work, or you're on your lunch break or whatever. Use these resources. You've got sharing doTERRA, building doTERRA. So there's so many different resources. I know I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, and Myra has YouTube channel, Sarah has a YouTube channel. So there's information out there. There's Facebook Lives, there's Facebook groups. Like there's so many different avenues for you to get educated. So whatever that looks like for you, it could be picking up your reference book and just reading a couple sections a day, but learn about these oils. You don't have to be an expert. You just need to know where to go and need to know a little bit about what you're doing, right? So it does. You really just educate yourself, get familiar with the oils, and have personal experiences with the oils. The next thing
Nicole, can I pop in for a second?
Oh, yeah, please.
I put this in the chat, but I just want to make sure. There's so much info out there, so many resources. Don't feel like you have to know it all at the beginning. Focus on the top 10 oils, focus on learning about those and learning about lifelong vitality, and give yourself a time limit. Like, okay, I'm going to spend 20 minutes learning about products today, and then I'm going to do my calls. So that way you don't get stuck in learning mode, but you're making sure that you're doing a little bit each time you sit down to work.
Thank you, Sarah. That is so important. Yeah. I'm a knowledge hoarder, so I will just sit there and drink it all in, but I also will do other stuff as well but I know some people do get stuck in that learning mode because we like Myra, her top gift is learner. So she loves to learn as much as she can, but she's also a doer. She's got some activator in there where she gets stuff done. So if you do love to learn, that's not a bad thing, but you don't need to know everything at once. Don't be stuck to take action. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to find the information. That's the key. Okay. There we go. Okay. So the next thing is know why you want to share doTERRA. Do you guys know why? For me, I told a little bit of my story. I felt very inspired that I needed to do it. It would change my life. And I trusted that voice and I trusted that impression that I got. And it has not proved me wrong yet. It's changed my life in so many ways that I could have never imagined. And the amazing people that have been brought into my life because of this, I couldn't have predicted it. It might be, you might have said, oh, I need some money to pay off these bills. I need some money to pay off these debts, or I want to quit my 9-to-5 job. That could be your motivation. It could be, I want to make a difference in the world. I see what Healing Hands is doing, and that speaks to my heart, and that moves me, and that makes me want to make a difference. It could be, I'm really lonely, and I really want to be a part of a group. Your why can be a lot of different things, but you need to understand what your motivating thing is, because you're going to have hard times and you're going to have obstacles, and you need to have something that's going to help you carry you through those obstacles. Now, I will say that a lot of times you're going to need to dig deeper on that why. Sometimes just making money is not going to be enough. It might be. It might be if it's between you and losing a car or losing a house, that might be motivating enough. But I will tell you, for most people, when it comes to hard times, money is not enough. Or just if it's as simple as helping people. That's a great thing to do, but you need to dig deeper. Why do you want to help people? What's inside you? What do you get out of helping people? So spend some time on that, because it really can get hard, and you need to know why you're going to keep pushing through. That's super duper important. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about, and I want you to flip real quick. If you have your launch guide, flip to page 4. And this is kind of just a good check-in for you to know how to launch yourself and launch other people, because it's very important that you know how to do this yourself so that you can copy it and help guide other people through this process. It's not a complicated or difficult process, but it is a process. And you need to know what the process is so you can repeat it, right? Because if we're not repeating actions, if we're not repeating this with other people, you're going to get burned out really fast. And you're only going to be able to progress so far if you're doing everything on your own. So as we look at this page 4 in the Fuel Your Launch in the launch guide, it's going to remind you of what to do to make sure that you're set up for success. It's going to talk about sharing. So this is going to come from the sharing guide, and talking about sharing your passion, how excited you are, right? Well, whenever we see a brand new movie, and it was so good, or we go to a restaurant and it was so good, what do? We get on Facebook, or we get on Instagram, or we tell our girlfriends at lunch, or whatever. We talk about it. Guys, we have miracles in bottles. We really do. We need to be talking about that. And it doesn't mean that you need to be like fire hosing doTERRA all over someone. Do it out of respect and do it in appropriate ways. But if you've tried something good and something works for you, let's say you had heartburn and you've been using digestin and it's gone, share that with somebody. That could be life-changing. It was life-changing for me. That's what showed me that these oils were special. And so share them in appropriate ways and be open to that. Don't be scared to open your mouth. You are probably going to be the answer to somebody's prayers. And I don't say that lightly. It really is true. Because people are looking for the solutions that you have, one way or another. Also, it talks about here on page 4, building your dreams. So if you haven't looked through the build guide, I would recommend spending some time. We're not going to go through the build guide a lot. We will later on in a couple of our sections, but go through that build guide, work through it. I want you to identify, what path are you on? Are you doing this just to get your oils paid for? Are you doing this to supplement an income? Are you looking to replace an income? Those are the 3 different pathways, and that's going to make a big difference on what your activity level looks like. If you are just trying to supplement an income, maybe 3 to 5 hours a week and making, a few contacts a week. If you're trying to replace an income and like trying to shoot for diamond or above, then guess what? 3 to 5 hours a week is not going to cut it. I will tell you that as I was pushing for diamond, I was probably working 30 to 40 hours a week, if not more. So it really is they're going to look different. And there's not one right or wrong path. You just need to know what path you're on and know if your activities are matching up with the path that you want to be on, especially if you've been doing this for a while. You're like, ooh, I'm trying to replace an income, and you're only working really about 5 hours a week, and you're only making, 1 or 2 contacts a month. Guess what? You're not on the replacing income path. So use that as an evaluation tool, and that's found within the build guide. So look for that and spend some time there, and you might have to face some hard realities of like, I really am just only I'm only paying for my oils. I'm not working towards replacing my income. And that can be a reality check of, hey, I need to change some stuff up. So, but guess what? You can always change it up, and you can always start a new chapter and a new page in your history and start a new path and make it your own. So there's never a point until you quit that this is not going to work for you. I promise you, because there's many of us that are up here that have made it to diamond. And I'm like, dude, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Really, because I have like no business sense. I'm like the worst businesswoman out there. But I've had to learn, like, I'm okay now. I'm not great. I'm no Myra, but, but really, like, there's so many of us that have quote unquote made it, which I don't really agree with that statement. But for those that haven't gotten there yet, that we're like, the only thing that is the same is that we didn't quit. We didn't stop. We just kept going, and we kept trying to figure it out until we found something that worked for us. So keep trying stuff out until it works for you, okay? And then here at the bottom, this is where you guys need to fill this in. This is a part of your homework. I want you to think about what your 90-day goal is. That's 3 months from now. So we are, let's see, it's the end of April, so May, June, July. So by the end of July, where do you want to be? How much money a month are you wanting to bring in with doTERRA? Okay? Is it, is it $100 a month? Or are you just wanting to get your oils paid for? Is it $1,000 a month? What is that? What do you want to do? And what rank do you want to be? Now, I will tell you guys, money and rank are not always connected. So I would focus on that monetary. Rank is it's a good measure stick, but it's not the end all be all of income. So what income are you wanting to make within 3 months or 90 days? Okay. And what is your 1 year goal? Now, I will highly encourage you and challenge you guys to commit to playing full out, whatever that full out looks like for you, based on the path that you're choosing, right? I want you to play full out for a year. Don't give up before a year, because it takes at least a year to really figure out your groove, I would say, with doTERRA and doing the business and getting your confidence and getting the right skills and getting the practice. And so commit to full out for a year. That doesn't mean you take 3 months off in the summer because your kids are off. That doesn't mean that you just kind of dabble here and there and treat it like a hobby. I'm talking like you're committed. Like you are a doTERRA representative. You are a doTERRA wellness advocate, and that's what you're doing. And commit to that for a year, and I promise you, you will create enough momentum to propel you to silver, gold, platinum, diamond. It depends on how many hours a week you're spending and how much, what you're doing, if you're doing good income producing activities. So what is your 1 year goal? What would you like to be bringing in from doTERRA at the end of the year? So by the end of next April, what is that going to look like for you? What is your goal? So fill that out in your launch guide so that you can be accountable and you have that as a goal. And I want you to share that with your upline or your mentor, whoever you're working with. Share your goal, because it makes a difference when we share our goal with someone. Really, you could be diamond within a year. Anybody in this group could be diamond within a year. It just depends on how hard you want to work and how you want to do it. So keep that in mind, set your goal, and get to work, okay? So let's look. So this is just on page 5, this just kind of gives you some wording, some perspective on kind of what you are as a wellness advocate. I'm not going to spend any time there because you guys can read. I do want to go over to success is scheduled. Guys, we can get so busy watching webinars or mixing little concoctions with our oils and making pretty labels and making pretty PowerPoints. Guys, that is not going to bring you money. Those are not income producing activities. You have to schedule meeting with people, whether that's meeting with them one-on-one or two-on-one or scheduling a class or a presentation. You've got to talk to people, okay? You've got to do it. And that's the end game. So as you look at this sample schedule, you're going to see here a little pyramid at the bottom. And this is going to give you a little ratio. And I think we're going to talk about this more. I can't remember where I'm trying to look at my notes when me and Myra or Sarah, maybe Myra can share that with us, or Sarah, whoever had the ratio from Roxy, who had that?
That's Myra.
Myra, okay.
So if you have 10 hours a week to spend on your business and you're starting out, take that 10 hours divided by 2. That means that you could do 5 one-on-ones, right? You could meet with 5 people. To meet with those 5 people, multiply that by 2. That means that you need to have 10 people to actually get on the phone to invite to the one-on-ones, which means that you multiply that by 2. You need to have 20 people that you reached out to. So 20 people that you contacted, you got 10 people on the phone, 5 people that you actually scheduled a one-on-one with. And then after that, it's important for you to track your enrollment rate and then the kit size and that way you'll know more or less, we'll be able to better calculate that. We'll talk more about that another week.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So that's nice math right there. It's easy. And then down here in your launch guide, it's kind of a bigger number, but it's going to show you that you need to prepare to teach 45 people. Out of that 45, 30, you'll present to 30. And then out of that 30, 15 will enroll. And out of that 15, 3 will build. And does that kind of open your eyes on how many people you need to be talking to? Yeah, I hope it does. Because if we're not talking to as many people as we can, your enrollment numbers are going to be lower. You're going to be selling lower kits, and your team is going to have it's going to have slow growth. Okay. So you've got to plan out your month. You've got to look at your calendar. And this is what I do. I print out a blank calendar, and then I go through with my family. So it's a handwritten thing. I go in my family calendar and I black out any dates I can't teach, or I have family commitments or whatever. And then I take a highlighter and I box in the days I have available to schedule one-on-ones, schedule classes, and those are my goals to get those filled. Okay? And so when you're meeting with Susie, because Susie wants to talk to you about oils, and she wants to get coffee, and you're like, hey, that's awesome, let's go get coffee. Then you can look and you can say, okay, I've got a spot for a one-on-one on Tuesday. Would that work for you? Yeah, that sounds great. And so you go and you know, hey, that's one of my spots, done. And then you can start seeing visually how many spots you need to fill. So there's people that love to teach classes. I'm a class girl. I like to teach in groups, and I feel more comfortable teaching in a group, and that works really well for me. And so, because one of my strengths is oil parties. Yeah, Danny. One of my strengths is maximizer. It's obviously not linguistics because I can't talk tonight. But one of my strengths is maximizer. And so I like to make things as efficient as possible. And so I like to maximize my time, and I like to maximize the time of the people that I'm with. And I can do that very easily in a class setting or a group. Like, hey, come over, let's talk oils. And it doesn't have to be like me standing in front of a class with a presentation. It doesn't have to look like that. It can look at like sitting at a dining room table over tea, coffee, donuts, kale chips, whatever floats your boat, and talking about oils. So that works for me. One-on-ones might work for you. Just know that you just have to make sure you have to make those adjustments to your presentation numbers. So if you're doing one-on-ones, you just have to do more than if you're doing classes. And the classes, they only count if you actually have butts in the seat. If you don't have butts in the seat, it doesn't count. because presenting to an empty room is not going to get you enrollments. So keep that in mind. It makes a big difference. And we'll talk about inviting. Sarah's going to talk about that on Thursday, and then again on a different angle of inviting on Tuesday, right? So it's going to be, we're going to have lots of role play, lots of ideas on how to invite. But figure out what you like to do. It can be a mix, and start figuring that out. How many people can I talk to this month? And how many people can I get this information presented to? Because if you don't, you're gonna at the end of the month, you're gonna like, how do I not have any enrollments? Well, I talked to 5 people. Well, statistically, you're not gonna have an enrollment. So this is a great, just use this. It has a nice example and just helps you figure out the math on that. Now, this is what is gonna be your homework, is your success tracker. Guys, this is gonna be so important. And this has 45, so this helps get your 45 people. Now you want to start thinking of people who are naturally minded. Think of people that have great circles of influence, that people listen to, that are leaders, that you like to be around. They just have a good energy. They just feel like they're just nice to be around. Think of those people. Now, if you're having a hard time with thinking of names, go through your Facebook friends list, go through your phone, go through different circles that you're in. Think of, people at church, or people on the baseball team with your kids, or people at work. Think of people, and I promise you, people will start popping into your head, and then you put them on your fancy success tracker. And this has columns that are going to help you track your success, right? Because it's great if you have 45 names, but if you're not effectively inviting, or effectively presenting, or effectively enrolling, or supporting, guess what? Those names don't mean anything. So you track, have I shared an invite? Have I given them a sample? Have I talked to them about oils? Have I shared my experience? Check, you can check that once you've talked to them. Have you presented to them? Either a one-on-one, a phone call, a video chat like this? Did you go grab lunch with them? How did you present? And then did they enroll? So this is great, because when you're on here and you've got your 45 names, let's say it's all filled out, and then you've got a ton of like, your whole column right here is all checked off. You're checking it off. You are sharing, and you are inviting, and you're presenting, and your presenting is pretty good. Let's say it's about like 75%, but then you get to enroll and you have like 3 check marks. Where do you need a little work? Maybe you need to talk with your upline or your mentor and do some role play on how you're presenting. Maybe you just need a little tweak in the words that you're saying. Or maybe you've got, I don't know, maybe you just have some limited beliefs that need to get released and get broken through, so that you can progress and you can enroll. Because guys, remember, as you're presenting yourself to people, I know this is not really my topic right now, but you need to prepare yourself to feel successful and to feel confident. Because if you get in front of people and you feel you're kind of like shy, and you're like, yeah, they kind of work, no one's going to buy from that. So make sure that you are preparing yourself and doing personal improvement, because that's something that doTERRA is a little tricky about. They don't tell you that this is a self-development program. They don't tell you that you're going to become a better person as you break through these blocks and you stretch yourself and you grow. But that's really what this is, because I think any of us that have been here for a while, that have made significant ranks, will tell you we are better people than when we started out. This process, these oils, the people, it does something to you in a beautiful way that help you become the person that God needs you to be and knows you can be. And so keep that in mind. When you hear us talk about personal development, don't just brush it aside. Do things that are going to make you be the best version of yourself. I could go on forever about that, but we're not going to go there right now. But use your success tracker. So your homework tonight, fill out your goals on what page is that? It was 4. Yes, 4. So you're going to fill out your goals, and then you're going to go through your success tracker and fill out your 45 names. Now, if you come up with more than 45 names, right on. you can make a copy of this, or you can print out another copy from your downloaded PDF and have this going. This should be an ongoing thing. So this is not 45 names and you're done forever. This is 45 names to get started, okay? This is something you want to continually do. So this is something you're refilling out. As you meet somebody new at the grocery store or at your kid's daycare or new neighbor, guess what? Their name goes on the list, right? Their name goes on the list. And even if you think that, oh, they would never like oils, guess what? Their name can still go on the list, and it might be a wait and see. Because I still have people, I've been doing this for 6 years, I still have people that are just now coming to me saying, you know what, I think I'm ready to try those oils. Because everybody is at different stages in their health and wellness journey, and they're going to be ready for this at different points. You just have to be ready and patient and make yourself known that you're available, that, hey, I am committed to this. I am going to be here. You can rely and trust on me. Because that makes a big difference when people decide to join you and decide to sign up with you. Because they don't want to sign up with somebody that maybe MLM hops or is constantly changing what they've got, what they're doing, right? You're sending mixed signals. That's very confusing. If I'm going to invest my money, whether it's $150 on a family essentials kit, or if it's $1,000 or more on an every oil kit, if I'm going to be investing my money with someone, I want to know that they're going to be there when I have questions. I need to trust that they're going to know where to point me in the right direction and educate me. I don't need to trust that they're going to have every answer. I just need to know that they're going to help me the best that they can. And so make sure you're conveying that message in social media posts, in your language that you're using as you're talking with people. You want to instill confidence and trust. And the best way to do that is to be authentic and be yourself. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Sarah. Don't try to be Myra. Don't try to be your upline. Be you and your best version of you. Don't be like sloppy couch potato you. Be the best version of you. Because it really, really does make a difference, and people trust authenticity. It just creates this energy that just is like irresistible. We love it when people are authentic, right? So as you prepare, as you get yourself ready, you're going to be brain dumping a lot. You're going to be just getting information out on the paper, getting names on the paper, getting things that you want to learn about on the paper. But guys, don't get stuck here. The preparing, decide how much of your time, like let's say you're spending 5 hours, that's your commitment is 5 hours a week. I hope it's more, but if it's 5 hours, that's okay. We're just doing it for simple math because I am not a math person. So if you're committing 5 hours a week, only 1 hour a week should be spent on preparing. That's it, okay? If you're doing 10 hours a week, if you're gonna work 10 hours a week, that's 2 hours that you can do to prepare, okay? So keep that in mind, because you don't wanna be lopsided in one area or another, because you really wanna have a balanced business. You really wanna have a business that's gonna create momentum, that's gonna be exciting, that people are gonna wanna join and be a part of, because as they see you become happier and healthier, and you just start to glow because this light within you is glowing because you're becoming the best version of yourself, it's irresistible. People want to be a part of that. People see that and they're like, they might not be able to tell you what they're seeing. They're like, I don't know what's going on with Nicole, but dude, I want some of that. And they will talk to you. They're saying, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing these oils and they are good. And you tell them about these oils and you share with them and you share how they've changed your life. And if you don't have a powerful story, or you don't think it's a powerful story, borrow someone else's. But trust me, your story is powerful, even if it just is lavender on a bug bite. Like as a mom, especially like in Houston where we have like helicopter mosquitoes that leave like giant whelps, that lavender on a bug bite could be life-changing. So your story, exactly, Danny, thank you. Your story is gonna reach the people that you need to reach. You do not need to reach everybody. You need to reach the people that you are meant to reach. And that trust that they will be put in your path as you are doing the right activities on a weekly basis and on a consistent basis. They don't have to always look the same, but you're constantly doing these things that are going to propel your business. So your homework, let's recap because I don't want you guys to forget and I need to make sure I said everything. Figure out your daily habits. Make sure your LRP is set at 100. Do your names list and set your goal. And I think that's it. Can you guys do that? It shouldn't take too much time. You should be hopefully able to do that all within, I would say, an hour. If it's taking longer than an hour, then drop it and come back to it later. Okay, don't spend more than an hour on that. So guys, I'm so excited for this series. I hope you guys are too, because I know some of us, especially if we've been in this for a while, we kind of had a lull for a little bit with FDA and stuff like that, but there's a new energy. We are all pumped up. There are so many good things coming out with doTERRA. We're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of doTERRA, and we are just getting started. It is just there's so much momentum right now. So jump on it, take advantage of it, and ride that train. Because guess what? Your neighbors are going to get oils at some point in their lives. Make sure they're getting oils from you. That's just, it's the fact of the matter, guys. So get out there and talk to people. Don't be annoying. Be kind. Be loving. You can be a little funny, but don't kill friendships over this. It's not worth it. But just respect people in their time frame. So guys, next time we're going to be meeting on Thursdays. Thursdays are going to be our daytime spots. And that's at 10:30 Central. And Sarah Savage is going to be teaching next Thursday, or well, 2 days Thursday. So not next Thursday, 2 days Thursday, Tuesdays. And she's going to be teaching about inviting. And this is vital. This is such a vital skill. And you need to get this down. So we are going to be posting within our different leadership groups challenges and ideas and things to help you get going. Please share, please talk, please interact, because as we get new ideas and share with one another, we create a community that people want to be a part of, right? We create momentum, we create excitement, we get ideas, we get help and support. So be part of the community, plug yourself in, and take advantage of this. So I'm just so excited. So Sarah and Myra, you guys have anything else to add before we close for the evening?
That was great. Thank you so much, Nicole. I want to share something really quickly because I wish someone would have shared this with me when I started. So when I first started, Nicole had gotten me so pumped up about the oils. I drove down to my hometown, down in the valley, and I have the most amazing sister who's wonderful and inviting. And in the course of 3 days, I met with 60 different people. And I didn't enroll a single one. And so I did the 6-hour drive back home feeling like the biggest loser. And I'm a diamond now. So I just wanted to make sure that all of you are aware of that if there's something that doesn't come easily, it's okay. Definitely persevere through it. Be consistent. Get help from your upline. I came back and I just like bawled on the phone with Nicole. I can't do this. I'm not good at this. And we persevered. So my issue that I'm going to share it with you in case this is your issue is I felt that sharing the oils was something good. It was altruistic. It was almost like my volunteer, work. And so if I received money, if I received compensation for me doing this, it somehow took away from the good. I don't know if that makes sense or that resonates with you, but I very much had that limiting belief that if I was going to do something, it had to be done for free. Otherwise, it really wasn't that valuable. Does that make sense? It's kind of like I'm Catholic, so if you do something good, don't go and tell everyone about it, or it kind of defeats the purpose of you doing something good. And so now my new belief is that for me to be able to help other people, because we're helping people not only heal physically and emotionally, we're helping a lot of people heal financially. And in my hometown, there are a lot of people that needed financial healing. And now I see that the more that I am able to do and accomplish, that inspires my team to be able to know that they can also help people physically, emotionally, and financially. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to be an inspiration for your team. And it's wonderful to get, all of these notes from people just thanking you. I'll share a picture with you guys later. Just some of them, and I'm sure you've seen miracles too, but these, Nicole mentioned earlier, these oils truly are miraculous. And so we need to help people not only receive them, but know how to use them. Otherwise, it's a wasted gift. So thank you so much for your time, Nicole. That was fantastic as always. And we look forward to continuing the next 4 weeks with you guys.
Thank you so much, Myra. Sarah, anything to add?
I think I'm good. You'll hear from me Thursday, and Tuesday. So
awesome.
I'll save it.
Awesome. So guys, have a great night. Don't just listen to this information and not take action. This is the time. Take action. Do this. And guess what? If life gets in the way, something happens, you can restart. You can redo this. That's the beauty of doTERRA. That's the beauty of this program. That's the beauty of what we are blessed with, that we can restart anytime. But now, guys, jump on this train. It is going and it is full steam ahead, and you don't want to be left behind because this is a party train. So yes, this will be shared. This will be recorded. You can share the video, invite those on your team, and we're going to be going through this pretty fast, guys. So this is going to be a very fast-paced 4 weeks. There's not going to be time to sit and dawdle and binge a Netflix show or something. There ain't time for that right now. It's time to get moving, time to get results, and time to get your doTERRA business going or re-going. So guys, have a great, great evening, and we will talk to you on Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central. Have a great one. Bye, guys.